if you could briefly tell me about your past history in sourcing venture capital.
Yeah, okay. So I suppose I could go back to my television production days because that was like having mini ventures to set up every time I did a production, you know?
Okay, okay.
So you're going out and you're pitching basic
Yes,
concept and you're raising money from different funders and you're putting together co-production deals.
yes.
When I founded this company, TunePresto, and we were set about to raise funding for this, it was, it didn't scare me. You know what I mean?
Yes, because you were used to that.
I
Yeah,
was used to
yeah.
pitching, and
Great.
I was used to rejection. So,
So you were pretty much a professional when you started then.
yeah, but it was a whole new world all the same, because
Yes,
of course you have different people. So,
yes.
basically that's what it's about. It's about people and it's about networking.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And what personal lessons being a woman have you taken out of your successes and or failures as regards sourcing venture?
Yeah, probably just have as a hard a neck as the men.
Okay. And of course in Ireland they call it a hard neck, but for the rest of the world it would be something like a thick skin, correct?
Correct. That's
Yeah.
it. And just perseverance, stamina.
Yeah.
I think whether you're male or female, it's the same. You just, if you really, really believe in what it is that you're doing, of course you're going to get rejections, but that should just, you should learn from it, why it was
Yeah.
rejected, and, adjust your pitch or whatever and move on.
Very good, very good. What attitudes towards you being female have you noted from venture capitalists when you were sourcing venture?
I don't think I don't know, not being a man, I don't know how they're treated.
Yes, of
So,
course.
uh, I don't think it matters,
Oh, that's so great.
I think it's just, if your idea is good, if your pitch is good, if they believe in you, and if you have a passion for what it is you're doing, and if that, you have to get that across. It's a sales job, So,
Yes.
I haven't noticed anything any different that I would imagine, or talking to men who have raised money, I don't think it's any different.
Great. Well, that's really good news.
Mm.
What qualities, you've spoken about the thick skin or the hard neck, as the Irish would say. What qualities do you think women entrepreneurs need specifically for sourcing venture? Is there anything else that you'd suggest that would help?
No, I think it helps to be confident, and I think that's maybe something that I don't want to generalize either. I mean, there's
I understand.
tons and tons of confident women, but sometimes
Yes.
if you're starting out, I suppose whether you're male or female, when you're starting out, it takes a while to build up that confidence. So, and sticking with what you're saying, people will question you. That's what it's about. It's a two-way process.
Right.
But, believe in what you're saying. And of course it should be, it should be able to stand up to scrutiny.
Fantastic. In your opinion, what percentage of women would qualify then as regards having these qualities? You said there's plenty of women that are confident. Can they be developed? And if so, what are your ideas about how this could happen? Because as you probably know, the amount of women, the percentage of women that do achieve venture funding or angel funding is very low compared to men. So this is really a question about how we can start to change that.
Yeah, I think it's probably, yeah, you're right. I mean, the statistics are there. There are less that achieve funding, but that's because there are less women that set up businesses. That's
Right.
a statistic. So maybe if we looked at it in the proportionality of that, maybe it wouldn't be as bad.
Right.
So I think that the question should probably be, how do we encourage more women to get into entrepreneurial, roles, to set up business, to,
Obviously, yeah.
bring forward the ideas. And I think that's something that can be taught. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Brilliant. And you're right. Of course, we have to backtrack and maybe even backtrack even further. Some of the people in the valley say we need to get more women into technical more girls into technical studies. So,
Yeah.
I guess it goes back even further.
Yeah, and it goes back even further than that because it's a social problem.
Yes,
Back
yes,
to how society is structured and how we
yes,
educate. Do we make a distinction between the male and female education system? Are girls getting equal opportunity to boys? At the primary level, at the secondary level, and so on.
yes, yes. So, do you think that the challenges that women entrepreneurs and startups have historically faced mean that we will always be underrepresented sourcing venture?
No.
Right.
I think that even in the past 10 years, I mean, you can see that probably not my generation, but the next generation, maybe my generation in Ireland anyway, we weren't as confident in terms of women weren't as encouraged in that way. But now everybody is encouraged regardless of sex, so it's
fantastic.
It's like, yeah, so I think it is changing. I can see it changing. So yes. I can only imagine that it's going to get better.
Yes. You're a non-technical co-founder. Do you believe that it's easier for technical women founders to achieve venture funding than non-technical? And if so, what are your reasons for this?
Okay, so I think raising funding is about the people.
Yes.
The team.
Yes.
The idea, of course. And the belief in the people that you're pitching to of your ability to execute the idea. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that there's a level of confidence, like I think there's a level of confidence that funders will get if they see that there's a good, strong technical base, but there's equally a good, strong managerial and, that can execute the whole idea.
Yes.
And get into a business. So,
right.
I think that whether that's a male or a female that has the technical role, I don't think it matters.
Okay. So as long as you've got a technical co-founder on your team, or someone in the team that can execute as far as delivering the service, you think that it shouldn't hold you back? Yeah,
and that both you and that person, me perhaps the CEO and then the CTO have a common vision,
Yes, yes.
And you can see that we work well together,
yes.
That's the type of messages that the potential funders want to see coming across in the pitch,
Yes, that's more critical, I understand.
Yeah.
Could you list some of the advantages of gender diversity in a startup? Are there any disadvantages?
I think a mix of gender is the way. I think
yes.
If you walk into a startup and it's all men, it's very one-sided.
Yes.
Equally, if you walk into a startup where it's all women, it's very one-sided. So
yes.
I think that basically, men and women are different.
Yes.
I can't generalize either, but I think it's probably proven in lots of studies or whatever. But women tend to be very practical about getting things done.
Yes.
And can be, so I think that the balance, it's all about balance,
Yes.
Having I don't think it's good for it to be all male, and I don't think it's good for it to be all female.
Yes. And of course, a startup needs to represent the community that it's targeting, and there are men and women in the community, so I guess that it would help you.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, that's great. Look, thank you so much for your time today. I know that you've just launched your service, so I know you've been incredibly busy. I really appreciate it, and I wish you all the best.
Thanks very much.